In this video, we're going to install and authorize BFD Metal Snares. After you have made your purchase of BFD Metal Snares on fexpansion.com, that authorization number, that serial number will be placed right in your account in your registered products. If you buy it from a third party, you'll register that serial number with fexpansion, and then you'll get your serial number for BFD Metal Snares in your registered product area. So the first thing to do, of course, would be to download it. So we'll click on View All Available Downloads. And first I want to point out this little blurb over here. You want to make sure you keep all your files together. Okay, here on Windows, same thing for OS 10. Just go and scroll down. Right here under the software downloads header, you'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 downloads. This is actually a pretty big pack, right around 23 gigs. So that's why there's 5 parts. So for Windows or Mac, you just download the version that you want. I'm on Windows, so of course I would click the Windows button and then click the download button here. And as you can see, the instructions are pretty straightforward. So we download all the parts and then we double click the exe part because this is a self-extracting archive. So you just have to extract the one part, just the part 1, and that will self-extract everything else. Okay. Of course, if you're on Mac, then you download the Mac version, but go through and click download on all 5 parts all the way 1 through 5, clicking that download. And I've already done this. So then we'll head over to our downloads folder. After you have downloaded all 5 parts, again, make sure they are in the same folder. It doesn't have to be a single folder with nothing else in it, but they need to be within the same folder. So here on Windows, we'll just run this first part and these other parts will self-extract. Now, before I do this, I always like to create the folder I'm going to install to first. And I like to install all my libraries onto a secondary hard drive. That is not my OS hard drive. So this is my OS hard drive. This is a completely different hard drive. So I'll go ahead and head over to where I install my BFD libraries to. I go and right click, go to new folder. I'm going to call this BFD Metal Snares. That seems quite appropriate. There we go. Now we have our folder created. Now we'll go ahead and we'll just double click on this main part, this part 1. And we'll go ahead and go through the installation. If you happen to get a Windows Smart Screen pop-up, don't worry about it. As long as you've downloaded it from fexpansion.com, the file is clean. So you can go ahead and click run. And we'll go ahead and go through the installation here. And we'll click yes. Now it's going to extract all of these folders into a temporary location, and then we will install them to that folder we created earlier. Okay, so now we can go ahead and continue with the installation. Be sure to read over this. This pack is for BFD3. It is not supported by BFD2 or BFD Eco. And of course, I recommend you install the audio content to a dedicated hard drive. All right, so we'll go ahead and go through all these prompts here. Of course, BFD3 is our only choice. And now we choose where we want to put the data. Now that is why we created this folder earlier. Now you could create it, during this step here, but we went ahead and created it first. So it's right there. Remember that? Okay. So we'll just browse to that folder. And that's on our E drive. In our case, fexpansion, BFD libraries, and BFD Metal Snares. Okay, and that's our path. And then you can choose the installation size, full, medium, or small. Of course, you go down to small. Required size is about 5 gigs, 6 gigs or so. I want full. You can see how much that takes, about 22 gigs. So we'll go and click install. Then we just sit here and we wait. Okay, now BFD Metal Snares is installed. So we'll go and click done here. And now you can actually delete these files if you want, although I would suggest that you back them up. And, I go over that in a different video about some Pro Studio basics. You can check out that video if you want, but I like to back these up into another hard drive. But let's go ahead and check out where it was installed to, just so we can see that. Just so we're certain here. That's the wrong folder. And we'll come in here to BFD Metal Snares. You can see it's about 22.2 gigabytes. And here's the folder. You can see we have processed in different ways and the pure or raw tones. Okay. On and off would mean the snare on and off. Okay, so everything is installed, and now we could open a license manager, I believe, to authorize it, or open up BFD3. But I'll just go ahead and open up BFD3 here to authorize this and to make sure it's connected. The path is connected to BFD3, so we can actually use this. The path should be added automatically, but if it's not, I'll show you real quick how to add that. Okay, and as you can see, BFD3 detected that we have new content. So let's go and click OK. And then it will go ahead and scan through our paths there and make sure everything is added. And there we go. It launched the authorization manager for us, the license manager. And it's logging me in automatically. And there we go. It detected things I don't have serials for. I'm actually using the demo of Geist too, so I'm going to untick that. Make sure you have the BFD Metal Snares checked. You see there's no serial here. That's because this license manager is going to connect online with my FX Expansion account, and it's going to pull that serial number in. So I don't have to do anything. I just have to click Authorize because I'm logged in to the authorization manager. It's going to get my serial number. Just takes a second. So pretty well thought out license manager, actually. All right, so there we go. Authorize, ready to use. Okay, there we are. And you can see BFD Metal Snares, Authorize, ready to use. So we can close down License Manager, our content set up. If your content isn't set up, you can come up here to Tools and set up content locations. And you can just rescan paths, search folders, search drives, do things like that to add that path. But everything should be set up here. So we'll just check real quick. Let's go here to Drums. I'll select Snare. And we'll use the library dropdown. And there it is. BFD Metal Snares. You see that it shows 30. There's actually 5 different snares. But because of the different types, processed 1 and 2, and the pure plus the on and off, the snare on and off. Okay, so we have this installed, authorized, and now you're ready to use BFD Metal Snares. And just so you can see, it's working just fine. All right, in the next video, we'll go through each and every one of these snares and listen to how they sound in isolation and in context.